This podcast features a lot of adult language. Okay,
It's
that's cool.
small, so
Yeah, I can't read that.
Yeah, you'll just randomly see us being like,
You can get an iPad Pro.
Are they bigger?
Yeah.
We should all
It's
just
like 12-inch
squint.
screen.
Mine's kind of old.
All lean forward and squint.
do what?
Oh, okay. I get it.
Old
now.
man eyes.
Okay, you guys ready?
Ready?
Yeah, we've been ready.
All right.
Yeah, that's what's good about it, is it can instantly.
I'm doing it wrong.
Someone throw doves at me.
Yeah. Just be like,
All right, let's do it.
Live doves or dead?
Doesn't matter.
Peasant magic.
It's the Orc-Chop Express, and we're talking to whoever's listening out there. I'm Podmaster Mike, and with me to my left is Mr. James Houlihan.
hey, how's it going?
You
Well
can find him.
spoken.
Yeah, I know. I really pronounced that clearly.
Practicing.
You can find him on Twitter at Chainmail Ninja. And to my right, we have Brett Rude.
Hi.
You can find him at what? Wait,
What
what,
was that? You're about to throw Sonic Boom.
what's your Twitter handle again? Because you have like 3 or 4 accounts.
It's at Ovalt the Great.
One word.
Shoot him, McGavin.
Yeah, just one word. No underscores or anything like that.
And further over to the right, we have Mr. John King,
Yes, you do.
and you can find him at Prester John Rex, right?
Yeah, it hasn't changed because I'm out of Twitter.
well, yeah, you have one account, right?
Yeah. I might have more. But I
the
know
one
how
you
to
actively
manage
lose.
multiple accounts.
Awesome.
I'm admiring your shirt. It's pretty awesome.
Thank
That is
you.
pretty
I think that
rad.
deserves special praise.
Here, I'll try to put
Where'd
it
you
in
get
here.
that?
I don't give the sources of my shirt purchasing.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah.
You're like, no one should have this shirt.
It's very easy. I'm sure you can all
T-shirt
figure out where I
elitist.
got it.
So it's
kind of
Daenerys and Drogon is the
It's
title.
House
He's a
Targaryen
tea
rules. Kind of.
Tea elitist you are.
I do love tea leaves. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna.
Here, I'll divulge my secret because I have over.
Write this down.
Write it down. It's rippedapparel.com.
Okay.
It's got a little.
But that's just one piece of the John T. Source puzzle.
Yeah, for the most
yeah.
part, but it is predominantly. I own, I think now 127 T-shirts.
Wow.
So you're an authority on the subject.
I'm an authority. Yeah. Well,
A
they're
tea elitist.
I don't know if they still have it. I haven't used it in a long time, but they had a site called Day of the Shirt. And what it did is it was like a feed that grabbed all sorts of t-shirt sites all over the internet, and then you could just
That makes
scroll
sense.
through and see all the different daily shirts every day.
I think that's how those design thieves found our logo design and stole it. I was
Still baffled
planning
by
on
that.
bringing this up, but
I'm like, we
since
don't
it
even
came up-
sell mugs.
Yeah, well, we do now.
We do now.
So, yeah, some random internet
to you,
design,
Amazon
like art
thieves.
thieves started selling Orc-Chop Express mugs on Amazon. So, if you're happening to look for mugs, buy them from our store over at TeePublic, not on Amazon, because they're dirty thieves. And I don't have anything against rogues. Like, that's totally fine. Like, I'm a big fan of, Sneak Attack, but we didn't appreciate the Sneak Attack.
But they were chaotic evil.
It's true.
That's true.
And it sounds like it's going to be an ongoing thing, because it's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it keeps coming up.
Get them to take it down, and then another one pops up. So
So
Yeah,
really,
I don't
everyone
get that.
Everyone should be buying mugs from TeePublic instead of Amazon to show that guy, hey,
yeah,
we get our
it's true.
mugs elsewhere.
Sure,
thought that's
Amazon
what
would
we
be
were-
really down for that.
I mean, that's the whole
Like-
reason we started this, was to sell mugs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was like the whole.
I
the
wanted
dream.
to become the mug
I'm
king.
living the dream.
Yeah, we sell like 2 different types, so
Yeah,
I'm living on a prayer right now.
I knew I wanted to be able to walk around the office and have one of like 80 people understand what it was.
Yeah.
That's-
80?
Oh,
Whoa.
sweet. Yeah, we're in
That's
it.
really good.
You know what's crazy is that's his whole like this dude's livelihood is just
Stealing
jacking people's
art.
art and putting it on mugs. How does it?
You
come
know, he
to
looks
that?
in the mirror and he's like,
I just don't know how
Like-
it comes to our logo. Like, there's
Yeah.
so much art you could steal.
Yeah, that aren't like specific podcasts.
Well, obviously he looked up something. He or she, who
Yeah,
knows who our things
that's true.
are.
We don't want to be.
Obviously was like, it's the 30th anniversary of Big Trouble in Little China.
This is
I
true.
need a logo.
Actually, the account name, which really means nothing, of the first one that we got shut down was a she.
Let's see.
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
The other one I couldn't tell. Gender neutral.
Watch-
"I'm watching you."
Well,
We will watch you, Amazon.
Yep. I'm on the
coffee
case.
mug fraud aside,
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna.
the subject of.
We're
It's
gonna-
a massive source. of
Yeah,
revenue.
tonight's subject: coffee mug fraud.
I know. I mean, we've had so many people asking about coffee mug
They're
fraud
like,
that we
what's
thought
going
we
on
should
with
do.
these coffee mugs?
I got
didn't think you
confused.
guys were on Amazon.
Well,
now
I-
you are. What's going on?
I bought
the
a coffee
first-
mug from Amazon and it broke.
Well, the first 90 minutes,
money
we're going to
back.
talk about Amazon policy and what to do when this happens to you.
I could do it. I could do that
Arduous
video.
detail.
I've been through it.
Yeah,
I've lived it.
So
if you
before
guys
turn
are
us
having mug issues on Amazon, tweet at Chainmail Ninja all of your fraud mug concerns. But
Please don't.
we're going to jump into what we're excited about, and then after that, we're gonna jump into the time machine
Oh,
and
shit.
talk about what we wish we knew when we started playing D&D.
So, what are we excited about? That's what
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to start?
I mean,
That's how we
I
put it. You.
don't know.
Let's start with John. We're all kind of looking at him.
Yeah, no, everyone's
You know,
going
I'm
this way
excited
anyway.
about his shirt.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm
I'm
excited
still,
that I'm
like-
wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
And that is it.
I'm pretty stoked
20
on
minutes
you
ago,
wearing a
it
shirt
was-
as well.
Yeah, so, well, let's see. I'm excited. So, let me give a little bit of backstory. Yesterday, I went to go see the one of 2 night screenings that they had of the animated version of Killing Joke, which is a Fathom event. You know, if you've ever sat in a movie theater, how they have like, here's a Fathom event, and it's like showing
like
you
Broadway
opera.
plays.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, who's going to go see that
Oh,
in
yeah.
a movie theater, right? But so
I
was
like that it's there, but I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm never like I was like I'm never going to do this, but it was Batman, so we all know how I like Batman. So I went to go see it. Yeah, no, shocker, right?
No, I didn't know they were doing cool stuff like that.
Well, I didn't know either. So I
It's
said
a Batman opera, actually.
it's the Fledermaus. So anyway, I was watching it, waiting for it to play, and they were kind of going through all the different events that were going to show, and one caught my eye, and it was like Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, what? Fathom event, Dungeons and Dragons, intrigued. So I paid more attention to it because the other ones I was like, I don't care, don't
So
care.
Did you have
Yeah.
to wait like 15 minutes for it to come back
Yeah,
around?
exactly. And wait for it. They asked 2 questions about the Killing Joke, and I was like, those are dumb questions. Like, wrong audience to
That was
ask.
child's play.
It was like, who's Barbara Gordon's dad? And it was like, Flash Gordon. I was like, Flash Gordon!
Spoilers.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I know. My bad.
Flash? The Flash Gordon?
The Flash Gordon.
He runs really fast.
That's not how that works. So, anyway. So, oh, shit.
Sorry, I can't not think of that
fine,
when I
that's
get
fine.
reminded of Flash Gordon. Is that
No, you-
crazy winged dude? And
you
he
gotta-
because he loved saying it. He said it like 3 or 4 times.
Dude,
didn't
get
he?
it out of your system. It's all good.
All right, sorry, it's out.
So, second time around, saw it to Dungeons and Dragons, and that Fathom Events is streaming the Acquisition Incorporated PAX West. So the thing that's
Yeah.
happening in Seattle, they're streaming it live in theaters. And
That is
awesome.
We definitely have to go see
Oh,
it.
live?
live.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
live.
it's
That's
on.
rad.
It's on a
Yes.
Sunday, so we could totally do it.
Yeah. Oh,
it's-
yeah.
It said like 3 hours, 30 minutes. They'll have a special introduction and maybe even like some questions or something afterwards.
Where is
That's
it?
what I
In the
was
city?
reading. Well, different theaters hold Fathom events, so I don't think they have them announced yet where you can get them because it might be a little too far out. But I was like, that's really cool. That it broke into that wall, you know, that kind
Yeah,
of
it's
world.
mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought it was pretty neat. So I was excited. Be like, if I tell you guys, be like, yeah, something maybe we should all check out.
Oh,
think we
definitely.
should.
Yeah.
We could even we could bring a bunch of swag and interview people
And live tweet.
Yeah.
and live tweet.
I could live tweet.
Yeah.
You could. That
That would be my
that
first
whole
live
system
tweet.
is live.
What's a live tweet?
It's
Oh,
like a tweet.
shit.
Basically, any tweet is technically a live tweet since you're tweeting it as
Live.
it happens.
While you're
But
alive?
it's like you live tweet an event. Like it's like reporting live.
I will live tweet him live
Reports.
tweeting.
Yeah, you could. You could be like, James is now tweeting. He's
No,
sending
he's-
another one.
Oh,
James
he's-
is writing.
Brett
Oh,
is-
he's excited
Brett
about
is
this one.
trying
Oh,
to tweet.
T minus 2
but his
minutes.
phone is upside down.
No, he went
Yeah.
over his 140 character limit.
I always do
He's
that.
backing. He's backing up.
It's so bad for me because
You
I'm,
is now you.
I'm so verbose because
You
I'll
are
just
is
type.
you are.
And
You're
it's terrible.
So yeah, if anyone is in the California Bay Area and wants to go see that, come check
let's
us out.
go.
We'll be there.
How about I put it like this? I'll find out where it's playing, and if you're in the Bay Area and it's showing up, I'll let you know where we'll be watching it at. So if you guys want to come check us out, that'd be totally cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
that'd be fun.
I concur.
I like
yeah,
it.
but that's what I was excited about. I thought it was really cool.
Sweet.
well,
that's awesome.
I'm excited now.
Yeah.
Like more for that than what I was gonna talk about.
Yeah, I'm not excited anymore.
Yeah.
I was gonna
you
say,
know,
I
you
should
guys
go
aren't
first since
cultured like
I'm gonna
I
have
am.
the cheesiest one.
Well, now, since you're
So we're
talking
all
about it,
staring
why
at
don't
you.
you say what you're excited
Well,
about?
mine was going to be my shirt finally arrived. It's one I've been wanting to get for a long time, and it kept slipping my mind, and then I didn't have the money when I wanted it when it first came out because it's a fight shirt for Josh Barnett, aka the War Master, and he's one of my favorite MMA fighters. But he had this shirt made, which is like a you can't really see it. I'm gonna have to post an image or something, but it's like a bolt thrower style. Like album cover, kind of D&D style of him as this like warlord character, the War Master, and it actually kind of inspired me. So I'm thinking you guys shouldn't be surprised if you start hearing rumors of someone called the War Master.
Well,
So just throwing that
Oh, man.
that little tidbit out to the wind.
I probably will not engage him in hand-to-hand combat.
I will.
He might not have that grappling feat. I couldn't tell you.
I know, right?
But
I'll
anyway,
give him a
so
shot.
can he catch arrows?
yeah, TBD.
All right, everything's looking up. All right.
He'll probably have a few levels of monk, so
I'll just put him to
it's on the
sleep.
table. God, I'm not.
Too late.
Hypnotize, sleep.
No, that makes me sad. Reminds me of poor
Oh,
Miguel.
Well,
Yeah, that was a
he was a truly epic
sad ending.
fighter.
That's actually the most peaceful way.
It's true.
I mean,
He was
really.
in no
He
pain.
went in his sleep.
He just went. Shh. Shadow time, buddy.
Well, it's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Did- was, can you like say the source of where you got it?
I'll check. I want to make sure because it might be like a knockoff thing. I didn't look too closely because I was so excited about getting it. Then I ordered it, and then I was like, wait, because I'm not sure. It depends. A lot of fighters, they have their own. That's how they make some of their money is they sell their fight shirts, and it's like an exclusive thing. So hopefully it's not like a art thief knockoff. Given the content of the beginning part of our podcast, I probably should have been a little bit more discerning before I just willy-nilly ordered it. But
Well, I didn't know he spelled Barnett with 3 T's.
that'd be awesome. It's like ever so slightly tweaked. It's like an H in there. Like, what?
It's the Grudge Lord.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, it's a cool
it's not
shirt.
as awesome as D&D movie theaters, but
Yeah.
Both still exciting.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Rhett?
Well, I'm wearing a T-shirt as well. That's not what I'm excited about, but I've always liked the shirt. Buddy of mine made it. It has Master Blaster has a posse with their combined heights. But anyway,
It was 56 pounds. Bullshit.
I don't know.
that might be real. That guy
He's
had
pretty
like
small.
he had like no body.
Yeah.
I
that
thought
was-
he was weighed a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
No, his head was like half his weight.
So yeah. But anyway,
That's information I didn't have before we started.
I have 2 quick things that I'm excited about.
Oh, whoa! You brought like
I'm gonna move
props.
over.
I have props. The first one
It's on fire.
is this.
Whoa,
I found
You brought weaponry.
a crossbow at a local place called Urban Ore, which is basically a junk store. They just get junk and resell it. I love going over there looking for stuff, mostly for Wasteland, but I saw this sitting there. The only thing that was wrong with it was, well, I mean, there's a few things wrong with it, but the string was broken. So I replaced the string last night, and I'm going to do a little bit of futzing around. But then I also researched it a little bit. I want to do more, but it has a stamp for, pardon me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Gubbio. Which is Gubbio.
I thought it was going to be like some French word.
No, it's Italian. It's an Italian village or town that holds a crossbow tournament.
Oh.
And so this was apparently crafted in Italy
In
for
Gubbio?
for a crossbow tournament, which is pretty cool. I got this for $3, so I'm very excited about that. And what's neat about this is this is going to be a prop on our set coming up in our
Yeah,
season
that fits
2.
perfectly.
So we've been gathering together a bunch of props, but I thought it'd be kind of neat to show that we've got some legit stuff. You know, got
Yeah.
these things, and
Gubbio tested, Gubbio approved.
although I'm like this little shoulder piece, like I don't.
It's actually
it
a
was
gnome
for
size.
kids. Yeah, no, it's for
It was
cricket.
designed for Master Blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have to take some photos of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put some photos up.
It still needs work if I wanted to make it functional, but I don't really care to make it functional. It's
No,
a prop, so.
I prefer it wasn't. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
want some like heated D&D argument to turn lethal.
Or my kids come in, hey, check it out. Ah!
Yeah, but I mean the first is probably more likely.
Yeah. So my second excited about actually is not D&D related, but it's something I'm very excited about. It's Wasteland related. Surprise, surprise. So there is a photographer that goes to Wasteland Weekend named Jeff Valancourt. Awesome dude, great photographer, and every year he releases a book, and every Wastelander wants their portrait in there. You know, they're very excited. They're hoping that their portrait gets in there, and I've been going for years, and he only does candid, so you can't like ask him to do a portrait. He just has to catch it. So this year, I got a portrait, and it's in this book. There's the back. Anyway, this he releases these books every year. I'm sorry I didn't put a post-it on the page, which I should have. But yeah, I am excited. I'm in the book. So anyway, I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Valancourt, awesome
Oh, yeah,
photographer.
yeah.
He does a lot of. I see a lot of his stuff. Based out of Texas, I believe.
What's that street? He's always down
Oh.
at that street because I follow him too.
Yeah.
He always gets great Canon shots. He
There's
does
a lot of
black
great
and
black and
whites.
whites. And then a lot of our tribe is in there. This is Bethany right here. She shows up like 3 or 4 times. She wins at this book. She's in it like a bunch of
Yeah,
times.
actually, she might be the like most photographed
Oh.
person in there.
There's Serena, another one of the Rust Devils. She's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, I love these books. I love collecting them and just having them around because, you know, I'll have friends or family that come over and they don't really know much about this whole thing, and I'll just hand them this book and say, hey, take a look, and they're like kind of blown away by, you know, the art contained within. So I made it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I'll have to buy like 3 of those books.
Was it?
Because I think I'm in 3 of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you're in like.
I got
one
off
of the first
easy.
ones.
I'm in none of them, so
you
I'm
will
good.
You
But I'm not bitter.
will be.
Yeah,
Well, your car has been in
My
all
arm
of
Your
is.
car is in every one
Yeah.
of those shots.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And I'm in my car.
Yeah. Like the back of the first book that I got,
Is-
where we're in front of the
that's
Atomic
true.
Cafe, where it's you, me, and Bethany.
Oh, and me.
Oh, and you. Yeah, you're in there. Totally visible.
I think
Completely
my
somewhere
elbow
in the
was
dark.
visible. in
Yeah, that's
that
your
one.
elbow and part of your hat. Yeah. So anyway, it's not bad.
I'm actually a
it
part-time
like a-
elbow model.
It's like in
We don't think like the
Monsters,
face
Inc.,
body
right?
boys.
We don't. What?
It's just like in Monsters Inc. when the barcode's above
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski's face. He's like, "Come on, a magazine."
I've never seen Monsters Inc.
What?
I'm not like trolling or anything.
That's cool. It's a great
I mean,
Pixar
it's-
movie.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Fuck you, man.
No, it's not like. I'm not shocked that he hasn't seen it, but.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not super shocked either.
All right, what are you excited about?
Spit it out.
Hurry
Yeah.
up.
Well,
Give me that
few weeks ago, I ran my first D&D game.
Oh yeah.
I still have to listen to that.
Pretty cool.
That was a lot of fun.
I still have to learn how to play it, but
It's a good start.
but I ran one. No, I had a lot of fun. I was pretty nervous to do it, but I put my all into it, and I feel like I really do need to like read through the rules more in depth, but like I feel like I knew enough to where like, you know, playing with you guys to at least coast along story wise.
Yeah.
And there was, I think, once or twice I had to like, well, okay, well actually which check would that be, you know?
Yeah.
To
That's
get
right.
it
Yeah,
done, but-
when it comes to that stuff, I think a lot of DMs might disagree with me on this, but I feel, and maybe it's because I'm coming from different editions of D&D to this one, but as long as you know the basics, your skill checks and your ability checks and whatnot, beyond that, as long as you know what there are rules for and what there aren't, that's pretty much it. Because then you know what you need to look up and what you need to make up. And that's really it.
Yeah.
Like, so.
There's a lot of stuff it doesn't cover.
Yeah, that would be my advice. And, and then the more you play, you're going to start using those rules, and then you'll start remembering them a little, just because you do. Not to say never read the book. Obviously you should, but then you can say, okay, I have this character who wants to try swinging across on a chasm on a vine. Well, I know the rules for jumping, so I can kind of base it on that, even though there's not rules for swinging or whatever there might be.
Yeah. There's a couple things I didn't know, and I just I winged it with my best judgment.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all that's needed.
Yeah, you did fine. It was awesome.
Cool. So there's that. I was pretty excited about that, and we played one more game.
Yeah,
we did the follow up game to that, and then the other thing I'm excited about was actually from today. Brett and I were walking around on our lunch at work, and we came up with like a system on the spot on how to convert any magic card creature into a D&D creature. And we came up with these whole formulas, so you can just grab a magic card and be like, "Oh, this guy's cool," and then it'll just make a equivalent D&D character.
That's cool. So you're going to make like a spreadsheet or something? And just
I started making one today.
I'm not surprised,
You're like,
yeah.
yes.
Well, it's funny because I looked it up and I saw some other guy wrote this super comprehensive, like long thing about it, which is very detailed. And hey, that's awesome. But
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm surprised it hasn't been done, but I'm guessing that's what that is you're talking about.
yeah, so this guy did it, and it's very commendable. But I wanted something just quick and dirty.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to pull out a card and spend half an hour trying to figure out what it is. I just want to be able to pull out a card and be like, a couple quick calculations. Okay, that's basically what he is, and then.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be cool as a DM. You could have like a deck of cards, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put like some goblins in here, and I think an orc in here, and spread them out and be able to just basically base it off of that.
Yeah.
Well, after I finish putting it together, I'll show you guys. If you guys like it, we could throw it on like the website as a resource or something like that people could use. But it's pretty basic. It it takes toughness, and that's what determines like hit points, and then power determines like their advantage to hit, and then
Damage.
their race determines like their core stats, whether they have minuses or negatives to certain stats, and then their class can add skills and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited
Yeah,
about
because
it.
they have all their classes and races and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all specified. Yeah, makes sense.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, give it a check.
Cool.
So I'll show you later.
Yeah. So it'll be like the quick and dirty. It'll be just easy
Yeah,
to
I think
do.
that's the kind of thing you would want if you're just going to pull a card out
Yeah.
and be like, hey.
But yeah, definitely not to knock on that other guy's thing. Like if you want something really comprehensive and detailed, that they have.
Yeah, I
I
mean, that
wanna look
seems
at it,
like
so-
what you would want to do if you were like, okay, I'm running a campaign in that setting and you wanted specific like monsters from the story or whatever. But if you're just like, this griffin looks cool, I need stats. Like, yeah. And you don't. It's also, it would actually be really good for those DMs who have players that memorize the monster manual.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be like, oh yeah, it's a cyclops. Whoopsh.
Well, think about all the years of Magic. You know how many freaking creatures There's so many.
You can be like, oh no, this is this type of Cyclops and
Yeah.
slightly different. So suck it. You don't know how powerful he is.
Yeah, we were talking about because they are releasing some magic settings in D&D.
Yeah.
There's going to be some crossover, and we were basically just talking about like, well, how are they going to do some of that? And I was saying they could make an entire monster manual. I mean, volumes of monster manuals based on the monsters from Magic.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, there's got to be some way you could, some conversion or something, yeah, so that you could just take anything.
You could make a wiki website just that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like just of Magic the Gathering bestiary.
Yeah.
Enjoy that project, someone. 'Cause I'm sure.
I'll get it rolling. I mean, I'm sure tons of people would be totally down to contribute to that.
Well, you should. Yeah, maybe that might be out there. I don't know.
I'll make the evil eye of Ormspike-Or.
You're all fighting Jace.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mill your character sheets.
I
Oh well, you just lost all.
At the beginning of my turn,
and
I
your
couldn't
strength.
draw a character sheet.
just milled all of your dice. It's like, I can't roll.
I need to roll something.
Well,
Good day.
are you guys ready to step into the time machine?
Yes.
Cue cheesy CGI graphic of telephone booth.
What that is.
Well, basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about if we were to travel back in time and meet 12-year-old us, or however you started when you were even younger. Yeah, 4-year-old us.
When he was this many.
When he's that many.
I knew what 4 was.
If we travel back in time and met
I don't even
us when we
remember.
were fledgling D&D players, what advice we would give to ourselves going into it. Because a lot of people, especially now, there's a lot of new players coming into D&D, and a lot of people are wondering, like, what are some of the, tips, tricks, pitfalls I should avoid, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, works for me.
All right.
Any ideas? Or no?
I'm going to start off with a few obvious ones, but especially if I was talking to like a young James, I would say don't be so concerned about like winning all the time and kicking ass every single time. Simply because those moments when you roll a 1 and get your ass kicked by a villager or whatever it is, like those are some of the most memorable experiences. So that, and also just focusing more on like your actual character and their background and why they do what they do, rather than the stats of like, okay, like when someone asks you about your character and you're like, oh yeah, he's really awesome, he's got polearm master and all this stuff, like, okay, well that's not what I asked, so that's something I think a lot of new and especially younger players, kind of the pitfall they fall into, just because it's, when you're that age, you're like, you just want to get out and you don't want to kick ass, and it's a very appealing kind of like sexy thought. You're like, I'm my cool action hero dude running around like
powerful,
killing everything and conquering and stuff. But at the same time, and you can do that, but when you do that and you manage to get away with it, it's kind of one of those situations where how much fun are you really having? Your character's never really challenged, they don't really grow, so it can end up kind of killing a campaign even.
So try not to be a munchkin, basically.
Yeah, if you can avoid it. What was that?
So, Brett, what would you tell yourself?
So there's a couple things I think I would like to tell myself. One would be, don't always make fighters. For the longest time, that's all I made. I would make the big brutal fighter guy, and I just beat the crap out of everything. Probably
fun.
on that same sense of I wanted to be the winner. I wanted to stand on top of the skulls of my enemies. And I did that a lot, and I didn't realize till I made my first wizard. I was like in college at that point. I made my first wizard. I was like, wow, this guy's actually really cool. Like, this guy's a lot of fun. And I'd never thought of it. So then I don't even know if I've made a real fighter since. Well, actually, in your campaign, I made a fighter, but that's the first time in eons that I actually made a fighter, like a true fighter.
I mean, we tended also not to play wizards so much because we would play like 1 or 2 levels and then get distracted and start something else or whatever.
True.
So, and wizards are pretty slow starters, especially in like 2nd edition. When we did a lot
Took
of
a while.
things. So, I mean, that from that standpoint, it's a little more understandable. It's not like.
Well, that wizard I played was actually in Savage Worlds, which was nice because you can get like right into the meat of it pretty quick. So, I mean, along that same thread, I would remind myself that there are billions upon billions of combinations and ideas and creative thoughts on characters out there. There's no end to the number of characters that can come out of your brain. I would look at young Brett and I'd say, you can think of anything and you will have 8 billion different ideas for characters, so don't be afraid to lose one, or to move on. If you play a game and it fizzles off, don't be too bummed out, because just make a new character, and that's what I always found to be the funnest part. But I think a lot of people, they get so attached to their characters, and I understand that. I'm pretty attached to Ovalt, as I've said before, but it's in the end, it's just a game, and if they die, then make a new character and
Let's
move
have
on.
the fun. It's making more characters.
Make a new character and a new Twitter account.
Yeah, a whole new Twitter account.
Both.
I mean,
the grade is
3 or 4 more Twitter accounts until I get it right. Really.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think your Twitter should be Brovault.
Brovault,
Yeah,
God.
Brovault the Great, but
just make Brovault the-
GR8. Like, great.
He's got like a barbed wire tattoo, trucker hat, little natty ice.
Brovault.
Natty
Sup?
Ice.
Sup?
All right, so.
That should be my Goliath. It's
Dude.
Brovault.
He doesn't even do beady do anymore. He's like, dude.
Beady dude.
Beady dude.
Beady dude.
It's like,
Dude.
oh, God.
Oh my.
It's like extreme.
That's
Oh my God.
Oh,
He's a bard that plays the air horn.
oh, God.
Oh, God. Monster. He would get killed by the rest of the party.
He's like too extreme for all of you.
He would be. They put him in his kayak and just like throw him off a mountain.
I'll even light the arrow to light that kayak on fire.
Well, John,
Plus 1 to fist bumping.
little 4-year-old you started so young. I don't know. Is this question? What would you go back when you started, or would you go back when you're 12? Like,
Well, like when I started, it wasn't, I would look at pictures and point at it, and if I liked it, that's what I would play. And kind of like what Brett mentioned, played a lot of fighters, played a lot of barbarians, right? Because those were easy. Didn't have to worry about learning the rules for magic or anything like that. It's just like, I want to cut the guy. I want to kick the guy. But yeah, I think I would go to 12-year-old me, because at that point I really had a sense of like what role playing was and things like that.
sure.
And first I'd be like, okay, get your mind out the gutter. Second,
Yeah. That definitely
4?
happens a lot.
no, 12-year-old me. John, 4-year-old me had no
Jesus Christ.
4-year-old me had no gutter. And just say, don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, you've touched on notes, and it just made me smile, because a lot of when I would play before, I wanted to win too. It's like, I have to roll high. I had to like look at different weapons and be like, this is the stuff I want. This is how I need to get it. And I would really plot out these courses so I could crush and destroy everything. And it was just, at the time, it was fun for me. But as I got older, I liked the mistakes, and I liked the flawed, and I liked having the challenge. And I just realized it was like I was playing too seriously. I was just sitting there like, all right.
That's also very understandable at that age too, because you're still kind of trying to figure out who you are, and you've got, you're dealing with all this stuff like your ego and all this, stuff that, within your personality that you're still kind of figuring out. So it's really easy to attach that ego to a character, because, after you play for however long, you realize, okay, this is just like a character in a book or in a movie. So, you know, really, when someone dies, you shouldn't be any more or less bummed than when someone in like Game of Thrones dies.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, more people view that than the average D&D game, but it's the same thing. It's
Really?
a mythical person in a piece of
What's that?
entertainment. So. But no, I mean, because it's easy to attach attach that character to yourself to a point where you're like, I don't want that character to die. That means I lose, or I've somehow failed. When it's really just that story taking a different turn. So
Well, I was playing with my brother's friends, and they're all about 7-8 years older than I am. So also it's like trying to keep up with them as well.
Yeah.
It's adults and they're all
prove you can
cool.
hang.
Yeah.
Prove I can hang, be like, I rolled dice.
Got a
This
good
is-
AC.
yeah, check this out. Check how I roll my dice.
You
Boom.
roll hard. Boom.
I did it. Yeah. I slayed the dragon.
I gained 10 levels.
Let's
Let's go.
That's what
10
happened. 10 attacks. Let's go.
D&D.
But that would be really it, because everything else is I've been pretty much the same. Other than that, I really think about it. Just like I stopped being as serious about it. Just have fun with it, because it's not real. It's not like they're gonna take away shit from your house if you die, or it's like someone comes in and be like,
That's what my brother told me.
well, your brother lied.
He probably
But
I mean, yeah, it's not like anyone's going to
Yeah,
think
Paul
any
plays
less of
D&D.
you if
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
miss with your sword or whatever.
Yeah, like if I miss with an arrow in our game, and then like I go to work, and all of a sudden they're like, we can't let John handle this because he missed his shot.
Yeah, I
off
was
the
listening to
team.
that podcast. and
You're-
you fucked up bad.
You
when
fucked up. You're out.
your Assassin's
know.
Creed moment.
Yeah, you fell off the roof.
I-
We can't have you there. You need to go work at the front desk.
I can't entrust this project to someone who's going to roll a 1 when they're doing an Assassin's Creed moment.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's not that serious, so don't take yourself serious. That's what I would tell 12-year-old me.
Especially when it stings. That's the
Yeah,
time where
yeah.
it's the most important to just stop and laugh. Because,
Oh, yeah, because 12-year-old me, something like that
Double dick
happened.
punch
Yeah.
your way out.
that's how double dick punches are born.
DDPs.
Because
DDP.
first, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, bro vault.
So,
Yeah, no, because I think about it. Yeah, if that Assassin's Creed moment would happen, 12-year-old me, I'd have fucking been like, I'd have got up,
been pissed.
I would have went and I would have hate peed into the toilet just so I could get out of there. They're trying to
Blow the back of the toilet.
I'd have been pissed.
Porcelain breaking
everyone's like, what's
Totally
he
true.
doing?
I know exactly what he's doing.
You know what I mean? Like, he just fucking like,
Fuck you, urethra!
you stole it, you rolled a 1, you stole it. Shh. Boring a hole through the porcelain into the next door neighbor's house.
Never roll play again.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'd been pissed, and the whole time, the rest of the time would have been like,
You would have been pissed.
No, no.
I would have pissed. Well, I would have been
You would have
pissed
been
out.
pissed. I just like
I
the
would've
play. I like the
pissed.
pun play.
See, young James would have just ended up taking it out on those poor villagers. They had nothing to do with it, but
No, I couldn't do that. I was never one of those. I was never one of those kids.
it was kind of one of those things where we would have an in-character excuse,
Yeah.
but you were just
Yeah, it's
fucking
just-
off and doing what you
I
wanted.
just want to kill something.
Yeah, but you need those games too.
For zero alignment, always chaotic good.
No,
Oh, no.
fuck no. Every single
Chaotic
time
neutral.
chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That
I
makes
mean,
more sense.
yeah,
I guess
it's
that's what
like-
I was thinking in my head. But I still have to learn how to play D&D. So.
Well,
Yeah,
once
So,
you get
Mike, what would
7
you tell yourself from 3 or 4 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what's
when
funny
you
is
go
I
30
was first thinking, what would I tell myself when I was 12-year-old? And be go fucking play some role playing games, dummy. But
You're missing out.
yeah,
'cause you
it
didn't
actually
start playing
it really bums me out because growing up, my stepbrothers and stuff, they didn't play role playing games and stuff, but in other things, the vibe would be like, no, you're the younger brother, fuck you, go away, and that kind of bums me out. So, but if they did, I wish that they would bring me in, or if I knew
Yeah.
people that played, they'd bring me in. But I didn't know anyone that played, unfortunately. But if I could say anything to anyone out there, if you play D&D or other role playing games, you have younger brothers that or sisters that are into fantasy stuff and you think they'd like it, you should totally play with them, because I definitely wish I would have started out younger. But if I could go back to my early 20s when you started bringing me into some games, I would probably tell myself to be a little bit more outgoing with the actual role-playing aspect of it, because that's one of the most fun parts. And I didn't know how to do it, so I had a lot of games of observing.
Yeah, but I remember
started.
your Captain Williams was awesome. Like, yeah, you did great.
I don't think you remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I remember some crazy shit.
It just takes a minute to get comfortable.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I did fun things with them, but I don't think I really role played them.
Yeah, you didn't really do a voice, I don't think.
Yeah. But I mean,
But
that's,
like,
you gotta learn how to get into that and have fun with that part. And you don't need to role play to have fun. It just, there is a fun part to that. And I would have told I would tell myself, just do it. It's fun. People like it. And no one, will make fun of you for doing it. It's fun.
In certain situations,
Yeah.
it can be fun to make fun of people when they do.
Oh, sure.
Actually, now they don't make fun of you for role-playing games.
Oh,
Back when I was 12.
Oh yeah, that would have been fair game.
Yeah, we would have been.
But also sometimes if you come up with a voice that's just not right and not working, you change
I've never
it.
done that.
Like that can be like a super funny moment of a. I mean, yeah, with like Adventure Zone, that's like the dad's character. He's like. At least where I am listening to it, like that's one of their running jokes is like he hasn't found his voice yet, so he'll just try random voices. So yeah.
No, the dad will just try random voices.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what's that one called again?
Adventure Zone.
Adventure Zone. Oh, I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Where can you find it?
I'm pretty sure
Adventure
it's just.
Zone.
Yeah, I think if you just Google the Adventure Zone, it's part of MaximumFun.org, so I guarantee you can find it there. Yeah, it's a funny podcast. If you've heard of us, you probably have heard of them, but if not, check it out. It's worth listening to. They're funny. It's like three brothers and their dad all play D&D, so it's like this really funny dynamic. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, like he grew up in that time frame too, like in the 70s,
yeah,
right?
Their dad was the only one that had never played D&D, even though he was like a total dork and grew up in the 70s and met Gary Gygax. Like, what was that conversation like? Like, you didn't know what the fuck he did, so you couldn't even talk to him about it, even though you're a total dork. So, yeah,
awesome.
It's pretty funny. I
suppose I have a little bit more, I guess, advice for any new players out there. I would say there's a couple things mixed in here. One is play other systems. Don't just play D&D. D&D's awesome. Like it's for the most part the foundation of all role playing games. It was like the big one that started.
Yeah, it's like the granddaddy.
And it's great for that. But play some Cyberpunk. Play Pathfinder, which is very D&D like. Savage Worlds. There's Palladium, yes. Definitely.
Amber.
Yeah. Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, did I tell you I played Rift the other day?
Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I did.
No, Patrick told me you guys played it.
Hackmaster.
So,
I actually kind of want to run a game of Hackmaster.
Oh, Hackmaster. Yeah, I remember that.
Knights of the Dinner Table.
But
grunge elves. They're like 7 foot tall, like Klingon type elves. They're like what drow elves should be, basically. They like, yeah.
Where do you think I got plucked up from?
So, I would say experience the world of role playing games. And the other thing is, and I think this is prevalent through most geek culture, is try not to be biased for one thing over another. And I've definitely been, the culprit of that as well. Like, if you're big time D&D, don't think, oh, I'm not going to play, Cyberpunk because it's not D&D. Oh, look, I don't like that rule. It's not about that. It's just about trying different systems and trying different things and seeing how it works. Different systems are built to convey a certain either amount of grittiness or magicalness or whatever for that world. So just go with it. So try systems and have fun with it, and try not to go into it with any kind of preconceived notions of what it's going to be. and just experience the whole world of gaming.
Well, yeah, I mean that also is important. Even if you do primarily play D&D, bringing lessons that you kind of learn playing other games, because like you mentioned, each different system has its own tweaks that make it play a certain way, like a certain like all flesh must be eaten, super gritty, super dangerous. Or if you play like Heroes Unlimited or like Savage Worlds, it's going to be a lot more cinematic and action oriented. And you can, even if it's just your DMing style, you can bring things back to that. So, I mean, I see really great DMs like Chris Perkins and stuff, and I got kind of, I'm not saying that's what happened there, but it seems like that's the kind of thing where you pick up a very distinct style of DMing. Like, this one's, like Chris Perkins, very fast and loose, and like another DM might be very much by the book. And so, different tendencies like that, I think, come from a lot of experience with different things and seeing how different rules and enforcing different rules and not others change how your game plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if I thought about it, say read more.
Yeah, read the book.
Yeah.
Not just read the
Oh,
book.
you just mean like
just read.
Yeah.
Like read action adventure books, read fantasy books, read sci-fi books, read fiction books, read non-fiction books. Just read, because it really kind of gives you an idea. Like help form your mind eye. Like when people are like DMs are describing things. Like sometimes, like you're like, I'm trying to build the room in your head, and you're like, I think it looks like this, and then if you were to draw it out, it looks completely different. But sometimes you can get in sync if you read a lot. It helps, form your imagination, helps do that, but can also help you develop characters and things like that as well.
Well, that's true for sure, because it definitely, if for nothing else than increasing your vocab and stuff like that, because I've noticed I've gotten worse at certain aspects of things like that, DMing, just because I watch more movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I'm not reading as much as I did when I was younger, and I feel like that kind of is great advice, because it's something where it's like anything else. If you don't practice it, your skills are going to wane. So
And right.
Well, John,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
might be
writing.
excited to know that just the other day I picked up a Salvatore book that takes place in the Underdark,
What's
so
that?
that I can expand my knowledge for
Good.
Out of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Perfect.
cool.
But
Who's the star of it? Is it Driz?
It's Drizzt.
reading.
It's Drizzt, yeah. Actually,
So that's
funny.
weird. It's not about Tiamat, so she didn't get her own book.
Yeah.
Oh no, she has this whole series.
Round two.
Well, and the guy behind the counter didn't have a.
No, so what's funny is I was just gonna say, out of a weird coincidence, I brought the book up, and this was at half price books in Concord. So if this dude happens to watch our podcast, which I doubt, but if you do, sup,
Whoa.
sup, sick call out.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, dude.
No, but I brought it up, and he's like, "Oh, Salvatore, I love him. He's my favorite author." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I haven't read any
Yeah, cool. I've never
read any D&D books, so it's good to know this might be a good author to read." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a huge Drizzt fan." He actually pulled up his sleeve. He had the Drizzt tattoo, and I was about to drop, be like, "Oh, you like D&D? You should listen to our podcast." And all I could think of was like, we have James like saying in a super fight, Drizzt like the worst fucking character ever. I'm like, you should go check out
Just
this
my
super fight.
opinion, man. That is
Should have asked him
totally
what's
just
on his
my...
shoulder.
He's
He
like,
might have had Tiamat
on the other side.
Big verses right here.
He's like, I listened to your podcast. I had to get these tattoos.
I have a big orc on my back.
I mean, you can get whatever tattoos you want. I'm sure Drizzt is really cool for some people.
I
Some
was
people love Drizzt.
listening to a Twitch streamer today at work.
Which one?
His name is Admiral like Buha or whatever. He's been playing this game Dead by Daylight, and no, wasn't him.
That was like a tombstone.
No, it was his
Just
name.
did bullet time.
No, his name
We
is
all went there. Tombstone.
no, his name was Moon. He's playing Overwatch.
Okay.
So I was watching, trying to get elite tactics,
hone your skills,
hone
yeah.
my skills by watching someone else play and be like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like you could shoot with your gun, crazy. And someone mentioned Drizzt, And he's like, "Oh yeah, that Dritz guy. I hate that guy." I was like, "I know. That's why I like this." And he's like, "He sucks." And I was like,
See?
Very quick comment. You said, "Oh, you could shoot," and you just reminded me. We used to play Mass Effect online together, and we had our buddy Aaron, our coworker, playing with us, and he'd played like 8 or 9 games with us at this point, and we're on chat and we're playing, and he's like, "Oh, you have special abilities?"
Yeah. What? You kept losing every game?
Yeah, you gotta press that button on the shoulder there.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Anyways.
See, that's noobs.
to go back in time and tell himself, "Hey, read the fucking controller thing."
He's not included. He doesn't get to
usually
go back in time.
Usually that first game, like the first time you load a game and you're like walking around, you pretty much press every button to try and figure out what they do.
Or to
Well,
tutorial.
not necessarily true. Old school gamers, I think, are very cautious about what their buttons do because you only had a set number of lives. So I wanted to make sure I didn't push a button that jumped me off a cliff. Then I'd have 8.
That's true.
I just thought of another piece of advice for new players.
Oh,
Something I would have gone back in time and told myself.
all right. Here's loaded dice.
No, do not underestimate the perception, notice, the look around and observe the world skill. Because I will tell you, when I run my games, if you have a bad notice or perception skill, you're going to have a bad day because stuff's going to ambush you. You're going to get thrown off cliffs. And I think a lot of people are like, perception, what, you know.
I always take perception.
No, yeah.
And
Savage
it's
Worlds
almost like
taught
a
me
dump
that
stat. I'll put
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
But then I have no idea what's going on, and they get
You're
ambushed.
absolutely right. I would like to expand that.
Yeah, because it's
To
not
just-
like direct combat, so a lot of like
It's-
in the Munchkin phase, you ignore that.
Yeah, you're like anything that helps you be a better combat monster is
Yeah,
all you
to do
focus.
extra damage.
Yeah, never underestimate those other skills that you normally never look at because you never know what comes up, including perception, or notice or investigation,
Yeah.
or even a knowledge skill.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking, and that ties in with this is don't also be mindful of all those little abilities that your character has. Don't just focus on your big combat ones because a lot of the times those kind of come in a clutch moment and help define your character. Like, if we find a boat or something, then like Svanya's got proficiency in seagoing vessels. Cool, that can be her moment to shine. Or whatever it is, random ability that you have. So
Yeah, like Oval, I always forget he has the ability to speak to small animals,
yeah.
and it's one of those things where you can surprise your DM with that. The DM probably doesn't remember that, doesn't know.
There's so much shit.
And so they're gonna be
in
like,
this
"Oh,
game,
there's
yeah.
there's a rat in your prison cell." So, well, I'm gonna talk to him, and then the DM goes, "Oh,
Like, right, yeah, it's one
Damn
of those
it.
things you're like, oh man.
yeah."
But
you
it's
know,
also
that could save
cool
your
because it's one of those unforeseen moments that makes the game a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden there's this big wrench that's been thrown in there, and it doesn't necessarily break the machine. It just kind of forces you down a different pathway. So those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, don't underestimate those other skills.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be a combat monster. That's what I would say.
But don't take it to the other extreme.
Oh, yeah.
That is also just as bad. That's worse because then you're just not functional.
Are you talking about being a troll player?
No, just
Where you take nothing everything that's useless and
Where you-
aren't very beneficial to the.
it's like the classic, my character is going to be I'm going to rely solely on my role playing, and I'm going to be a diplomat or a scholar or whatever. Like, if you're going to do that, make sure your character like knows some magic or some shit, or like is actually a rogue and can kind of like run away and hide or something. But and it's a little harder to pull off these days since you have classes that inherently come with cool abilities, but with shitty stats and just mysterious character creation choices, you can make pretty terrible characters. And I actually see those questions pop up every now and then on Reddit where they're just like, what the fuck do I do with this player?
Yeah. Well, I will counter that with one quick thing.
dare you.
So I, for the most part, agree. I agree. Yeah, going the opposite direction is very difficult to do. But I had a friend, Dave, who made a character named Julian. in Octavia.
That
and
one was almost more like he was just playing an NPC.
It kind of was, and so what I would say, if you're doing that, you almost have to just not take yourself too seriously and be ready to die because inherently on most role playing games, I'm sure there's some that aren't. There's going to be combat, and so you have to be able to survive one way, shape, or form in combat.
He didn't engage in combat, right?
No, he never. He was like the damsel in distress.
And that's not to say, like, if you're in a game where it's up front, this is going to be like a diplomacy type game. You're going to be doing some Game of Thrones shit, and you're going to go entire sessions with no combat. Okay, make your diplomat. You know, that's. I'm not saying never, ever, ever, never. Just in your average game.
No, he worked though.
Dave did an excellent job.
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
he didn't take it too seriously, and he just had fun with it, and he knew what he was. He knew that he was there just to get everybody into trouble. And that was the fun part. I made it so that they had to protect him.
Yeah, he was the plot NPC.
Yeah, he was the
right?
plot NPC. So like, they couldn't let him die, or the.
Yeah, I think that's what made it work. Was he was the kind of.
Yeah, I helped him a lot. Yeah.
I mean,
I wish I had those recorded.
he didn't survive, but
In a sense, he did.
He's
Part of him.
alive.
oh, okay. That's a story for another
The
day.
important part.
It's a good story.
That
though.
sounds odd. His head survived. So yeah.
Yep. Anything else? I can't think of any time machine things.
No.
And it might change like some interactions with girls or.
No, this is D&D strictly.
Okay.
Well, if we're talking about
give you D&D advice.
Sorry. Otherwise, I would totally teach you how to conquer the world, but no.
If I could go back to my freshman year now, I'd rule the place.
With what I have learned,
Check out these metal dice.
they're from the future.
You'll be the coolest kid in town.
Oh my
It'll be
god.
so cool. You only get beat up by the kids who don't understand what a 6-sided dice is.
Oh, dude, I would give him metal dice and a wrist rocket.
Oh fuck!
Fend off those bullies.
Cool,
with
they'd be a
that.
murderer. I didn't really.
Man killed with
Come
4-sided
back to
news at
the
11.
come back to the future, and all the bullies are on the bottom.
Yeah, your dice are made to the
Generally
adamant
happens
bones.
anyway. So
No, bullies are all playing some other system.
fucking Pokemon Go.
Hey, man. Team Valor for life.
That's true. Yeah, that gym across the road from your house is my territory. Did I tell you how I ran off a couple of, well, I say kids, they were like college age. But I was getting in my car as I was leaving your house, and there's a Pokemon gym right across the street from Brett's house. And I see these two kids sitting on the grass, because it was a nice summer day. And
Idiots.
yeah, and they were like, oh, I got 1,500 experience points for that, ha ha ha. And I was like, oh, these fuckers are playing some Pokemon.
Really?
So I logged in as I, turn on the AC because it was hot as balls, and
Show
Turns
your
on the
was
music.
like-
All,
and I was like, oh look, they're not on Team Valor. Boop, and their gym was pretty low, and then I turned it gray, and then took it from them. And then they got up sadly and left. So I feel a little bad, but not bad because those teams,
my gym.
yeah,
Fucking showed them.
kicked blue ass. I don't.
dicks.
Yeah, those little blue bastards can get the fuck out of my park.
Yeah.
It's my turf.
So we take a coworker and I we take Pokemon Go walk breaks. Like we'll walk over to this neighborhood gym and we'll train it up. And we were training, it was red, and we were like, Team Valor, yeah, we'll do this. And then also we noticed it was going down. And we're like, shit, there's like, we're looking around trying to see who's doing
Yeah,
it. Because
I had a similar experience in San Francisco.
well, that's what happened. But check this out. So the guy was doing it, beating it, and we were like,
Jump
wait.
him?
No.
Yeah.
We jumped his gym. So the minute it turned gray, we jumped in and put our guys in there.
No, I was having the similar thing where I kept taking this gym, and it kept getting taken back, and I was like, "Who the fuck is doing that?" Because I was waiting for Aaron in the corner store, and then I see this fucking construction guy in the middle of a crosswalk with his sign, and he's all like tucking his goddamn phone away. I was like, "You motherfucker! It was you!" Like, god damn, the game's ridiculous.
Yep.
I can't do it. I can't try. I don't want to get sucked
I'm already
into it.
kind of over it, so it's a mobile game. It's very shallow.
It's my business, so
Yeah.
I have to kind of play it.
I'm glad it's not mine anymore.
I have to play.
That's true.
No, it's you kind of have to
That's
play
market
the best games in
research.
the world. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty relevant. It's the biggest, like the most downloaded
It
game
has more
in history now.
It has more users than Twitter. Active users than Twitter has more users than Tinder.
It's really weird because it's super duper shallow, but its strongest feature is the fact it's kind of like WoW in that ball got rolling, and once you get enough people playing it, that becomes one of the biggest reasons people start playing it.
Oh, there's nothing to it other than the IP.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah,
just
that's literally
yeah,
it.
it's the IP, but it's also the fact that you can walk around and you're like, oh, other people are playing this. This is funny, and you all talk and like
Yeah, but again, only due to the IP. Like
Yeah,
I guarantee
yeah.
you could even do Star Wars, and I don't think it would necessarily be as popular as this was.
no.
If I went back in time, I would tell 12-year-old me,
Here's a cell phone, invent it.
yeah, or copyright Pokemon Go.
Or just buy Nintendo stock.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Boom. I mean,
No, you
Dungeons and Dragons.
Create an expansion called Pokemon.
Oh man, 5th edition Pokemon rules.
No, that suck.
Whoa,
Just
let's
saying.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
This might get
Wrap it
Do they
up,
have a
B.
conversion for that?
Wrap
Right.
it up.
So let's
Well, thanks for joining, peeps, and we hope you enjoyed this very weird per diem episode.
Yeah, we're kind of delirious from the heat, so don't hold
Yeah.
it against
Really
us.
hot. We've
It's
been doing
hot.
this
It is
the
hot.
whole episode.
But thanks again for watching, and make sure to check out the campaign Sea of Mist. There's going to be a really cool finale surprise that we're going to do. Did you have something you want to add on that?
Yeah, actually, there's one more thing. By the time this is finished editing, these will all be ready, so I can display them across the bottom of the screen. But we're going to be doing character T-shirts
Oh, yeah.
for each character. We've got our 16-bit pixel art versions of all of our characters, and we've got them with their taglines. They're actually surprisingly awesome.
Yeah. I like it.
And so yeah, those will all be on sale by the time this goes live. So
Are you going to
Check those out.
update
Shirts.
John's?
Yeah.
Perfect, because now I'm going to have to get one. So.
you
should
should
all
show up
show
wearing
up
a
in-
Trainor shirt.
Trainer shirts. You should all just wear trainer shirts.
Yeah.
But,
so
He'd be a Pokemon trainer.
So you're gonna they're gonna oh my word, they're gonna be ready.
My crossbows.
yeah.
They're ready. Okay, then I'm gonna do this. Click on the shirts below. Okay. John coming in from the side. So yes,
Yep.
those are awesome. We're gonna have a really cool surprise for the finale. That's gonna be coming up very soon, actually. And then check us out on Twitter at Orc-Chop Express. Make sure to like the Facebook page. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to the SoundCloud channel and I guess subscribe if you're a SoundCloud person. Go to iTunes and rate us like 5 stars. Nothing other than that. Just do 5 stars. That's all we want.
It's out of 5, right?
It's out of 5, I believe.
Good.
Yeah.
Whatever the highest is, do that.
Out of 10.
Those reviews help a lot. So
They
then
really do, yeah.
Ask for a 6-star so you could rate us 6 out of 5.
Yeah, email
Yeah.
iTunes support and say you should have 6 stars.
Email Tim Cook.
Yes.
Tim Cook at iTunes.com.
I'm sure.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's right.
Or T Cook.
I don't know.
probably not
He
Tim.
probably doesn't monitor it. He probably uses the Gmail address.
He's
All
all
right.
like, AOL.
At AOL, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
God.
God, you fucking ruined everything.